We've mentioned a few of them in our conversation today. I'm going to move on to the next slide really quickly and show you some of the introduction to type and organizations, or introduction to type booklets, I should say. I'm ahead of myself. There are 6 of them shown here. There are 20 booklets in the whole set. You'll find great use in these things. I use them as takeaways for my workshops. One that I'm looking at on the screen here that I use a lot is in the lower panel, right in the middle, the introduction to type and organizations. It's just, again, a lot of the work I do is organizational in nature, and it's just got some great stuff in there for helping you with your activities with individuals, and for them having a resource that they can go to after you've finished working with them. On the next slide, you'll see some of the MBTI manuals. I wanted to have this up here because I do believe that the manual, that MBTI manual, is an example of how to write a technical guide, because it describes the indicator. It does not do it in highly technical terms. It'll really capture you as you read through that manual. It gives you lots of tips. It even gives you scripts and lots of data that you can share with your clients. And notice in the upper panel in the middle, there is also an MBTI Step 2 manual. There's a separate manual, again, that gives you data and ideas and background and some suggestions for how to use the MBTI Step 2. In the lower panel that's showing on this slide, you'll see some of the resource binders that I like to use. There are a number of them. There are just 3 shown here. That first one there is probably my favorite. Well, yeah, one of my 2 favorites. Using the MBTI tool in organizations. That's the one I showed you earlier, some of those cartoons. And some of the other slides. This is the one that has a CD-ROM that comes with it, so that you don't have to put together your PowerPoint slides. And some of the slides that I use today are very similar to the ones that are in that binder. You can see that there is also a separate MBTI team building binder, fabulous resource. It gives you tips and suggestions for how to set up an engagement with an organization, how to even get in there and start to set up an engagement. Suggestions for using the MBTI professionally and ethically in team situations, how to interview the team members, how to feed that information back. It's just a treasure chest of ideas for using the MBTI in team situations.